Is Hasbulla the Macaulay Culkin of MMA? Is Hasbulla the perfect brand ambassador for the UFC? How far will Conor's feud with Hasbulla go? According to MMA writer Igor Lazorin, Hasbulla Magomedov has signed a 5-year contract with the UFC. Hasbulla, often known as Mini Khabib, attended the UFC 267 event in Abu Dhabi in October and made quite an impact. The viral MMA star was spotted in the cage with MMA icon Khabib Nurmagomedov moments after Islam Makhachev dispatched Dan Hooker. Hasbulla was also cage-side for Petr Yan's victory against Cody Sandhagen, as well as Glover Teixeira's historic victory over Jan Blachowicz. During an early interview with Barstool Sports, UFC President Dana White mentioned meeting Mini Khabib, and I quote, "So I'm going to tell you something." So the video that he sent saying, "Dana White, I'm coming to Abu Dhabi and UFC." When I posted that with me on the plane saying I'm coming, it's the biggest post that I've ever posted. White said, "I have 6.7 million followers," at the time of course, on Instagram. 6.4 million people watched that video. It's that effing crazy. The UFC president was then asked how his conversation with Hasbulla went and if the fight fans might expect to see Mini Khabib inside the octagon. "Incredible," White said of the meeting. "I love the kid. Is there more than a 0% chance? Yes." MMA writer Igor Lazorin announced on social media today that Hasbulla had signed a 5-year contract with the UFC. While the deal does not include any octagon appearances, it does indicate that Mini Khabib will help promote future UFC events. And I quote, "This is a blast from the face. Hasbulla signed a 5-year contract with the UFC so far in the plan, attending tournaments and media activity. We will not talk about amounts in detail, but they are such that many fighters do not even get. Hasbulla signed a 5-year contract with the UFC, no fights yet." And further news on Hasbulla. Hasbulla has recently made news in the MMA world after a Twitter feud with Conor McGregor. The Irishman threatened to punt Mini Khabib, who retaliated by calling him a bum. After a spat with Hasbulla, UFC President Dana White said that Conor McGregor should watch himself. Hasbulla, who suffers from a growth hormone deficiency, is close to White and met him at UFC 267 in Abu Dhabi in October. Hasbulla promised to smash McGregor, echoing McGregor's former opponent Khabib Nurmagomedov's statement, and White has since advised the Irishman to tread cautiously around him. On the podcast My Mum's Basement, White said Conor better watch himself. If he runs into Hasbulla, then he's going to get into some big trouble. It's unknown what drove McGregor to go after Hasbulla online, but his friendship with Khabib Nurmagomedov may have played a role. Last year, Hasbulla was linked to a UFC battle against fellow online sensation Abdu rozik, but White indicated that Hasbulla's father was opposed to the notion. Hasbulla now appears willing to settle his spat with former 2-weight champion McGregor in the octagon. Furthermore, while shopping, the diminutive star's vehicle copped a fine for parking in the loading zone. The fine is usually $185 in Victoria, Australia. On Thursday, Hasbulla Magomedov was observed driving through Melbourne in a bright orange Lamborghini Huracan. The 19-year-old TikTok star, who has dwarfism, was living the high life in a $300,000 supercar while on tour in Australia. The social media phenomenon and his entourage dropped at a high-end boutique Burberry on Collins Street in the CBD. And lastly, despite being 20 years old, TikTok star Hasbulla Magomedov has admitted that he is not yet ready to start dating. On the Kyle and Jackie O show, the 3'3" social media sensation who has dwarfism and is noted for his childlike looks was asked whether he intended to get married one day. The inquiry was interpreted by his muscular Russian translator, who subsequently delivered his response, "I will think about it later, I am too young." And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.